Gather around. We have our auction to have this buck cracker. This big buck cracker is very healthy, very strong, from Western Europe. I would like to start my bidding at $1,000.
I'll give you $1,500 for him.
Mr. Jackson, you can't keep coming up here trying to buy my product before everybody else.
Really?
Yes.
Well, let me ask him. Now, am I being unfair to y'all?
Nah, we ain't say nothing like that.
Wrap him up.
Not so fast. I'll give you $1,600 for him.
Seems we have ourselves an auction here.
1850.
1,900.
3,000.
Ooh-wee. My cracker worth 3,000? 3,000 going once? Mr. Wayne? Going once? 3,000 going twice? This cracker's sold to the Jackson plantation.
Wrap him up. That's my cracker.
WSB gets real about some of the painful truths about slavery. A local probate court judge made a stunning discovery in a record room. She and her staff decided to read wills that date back to prior to the Civil War, and they found documents detailing how slaves were passed on to relatives. Channel 2's Tom Jones got a chance to read some of those records.
Yeah, it was like history coming to life reading those records here at the Fulton County Courthouse. You know, you read about slavery in history books, but reading the wills of slave owners, you see how they really treated their slaves like property, handing them down from one relative to another.
Here, people came to leave their last wishes and where they want their properties to go.
Back in the 1800s, that property included slaves. Fulton County Chief Probate Court Judge Kenya Johnson showed me wills her office discovered from back then where slave owners wrote what should happen to their slaves when the owners died.
It is my will and declare that all my Negro slaves divided into 5 lots.
The well-worn documents show how slaves and their children were treated like cattle.
I bequeath to my daughter, Margaret Rebecca, my Negro woman, Jen, of dark complexion, and all of her children, to her and to her heirs forever.
Judge Johnson had her staff go through the wills to see what slave owners did with their slaves when she realized she had documents before the Civil War. She was shocked at what they uncovered.
It is emotional to know that that slaves were considered property.
Johnson says it's one thing to read about it in history books, another to see and touch the actual records.
This is not only Georgia history, but it's American history.
Her staff found one will that caught them by surprise. A slave owner wanted his more than 30 slaves paid and sent back to Africa when he passed.
When they start to Liberia, in the event I die before they start to Liberia, $100 each.
Johnson says this is something we don't hear often.
While slavery was a horrific institution, there were some compassionate slave owners.
Yeah, Judge Johnson says she is working to restore and preserve some of these documents, and she wants to partner with museums and archival organizations to do that. She says the public can even see some of these documents by making an appointment.
You were the original people on this earth. And so the natives now, Native Indians say, well, we are the Native Americans. No, you're not the Native Americans. You had Folsom people. The Folsom people were Africans who came to this country way back 16,000 years ago and landed around Texas and New Mexico and down in Central America. They landed called Folsom people. That's why you got a Folsom, California, Folsom, Colorado, Folsom, New Mexico. You got a Folsom prison. Those Folsom people were black people. And the Indian Americans, so-called Indians, are descendants of Asians, came across the Bering Straits and came down and interbred with the blacks who were here. And the Folsom people, that's why they're not yellow skinned and got slant eyes, because they interbred and became what they call redskins. But blacks were the original people.
First we were savages, then we was Native Americans, then they changed our name to colors, then we was Negroes, then we was bored. Now niggas telling me what's up, my brother? Then we was N-I-double-G-E-R. Identity crisis take me to the ER. Third eye open so now I can see. Why y'all changing our name? What y'all think I'm a retard? Now we is black, African American. Some of these niggas they call themselves Moors. Now we is Hebrews, we the real Jews. I don't know who the fuck I am anymore. They calling us Coon and Uncle Tom, thinking I'm Israelite saying shalom. Am I a slave that came out of Africa? Or am I an Indian? Was I just always here? Am I a Christian? Am I a Muslim? Or am I Yoruba? Should I do voodoo? Those are my ancestors. Nah, that's witchcraft. If you was me, then what the fuck would you do? What is my name? Why y'all keep changing it? Probably cause y'all don't want to give reparations. Comment and please tell me what my name is, cause it seems like the whole world really hate us.